if you happen to be in a narcissistic relationship or a relationship with like energy draining people, people who want to take your energy, people who are just adamant on going in circles with you and want to just drain the life out of you. I saw a video a few minutes ago, and this guy said to treat toxic people like customers. If you've ever worked in fast food or like retail store, if you've ever worked at one of those places, then you know what I'm talking about. You know proper customer service. If you run a business, you know proper. I hope you know proper customer service, because a lot of business owners don't know customer service etiquette. But anyway, if you've worked in any one of those places, you know what customer service looks like. This is how you have to treat these people. You know how they say the customer is always right, and don't argue, don't do any of that, don't give them no emotion, don't give them none of that kind of stuff. That's how you have to treat toxic people. People who are just, they just want energy out of you. They need that power. They need that source of life, basically. And me being a naturally energetic person, a naturally joyful person, it's easy for toxic people to take advantage of that, pretty much. Like, I would say, like, my experiences have been people going around in circles and me feeling the need to have to explain myself. Another thing would be when you ask them a question, they deflect from the question, and then they flip it back on you to put the attention, like the spotlight, so to speak, back on you. But when in, primarily the question is for that person. It's about that person. They don't like to take accountability. They don't like to be vulnerable. They don't want to open up. So they're like hard rocks, basically, like a brick wall. You're basically talking to a brick wall. So you can't explain yourself to these people. Do not go back and forth with them. Just, you know, be nice. I wouldn't say be nice. I don't like the word nice anyway. Be cordial. And this is what you have to do. You have to take your emotions out of it. When you're dealing with rude customers who just want to get a reaction out of you, when you're dealing with them, you have to, I don't know, I don't even say get them what they want, but you got to dismiss them. Like, you got to set boundaries. When somebody come in the store acting like they ain't got no sense, you got to, hey, you got to get about my store. Like, you can't come in here acting belligerent. You can't come in here acting like you ain't got no sense. It's standard operating procedures in this store. That's why I always say, like, run your life like a business, because can't nobody run over you like that. When you run your life like a business, you have rules and regulations, you have standards, you have those boundaries set, and nobody can come against that when you standing 10 toes down on your boundaries. So this is something that you have to do, is to treat toxic people like customers. Stay out of your emotions. Like, it's a time and a place for emotions. It's a time and a place to show your vulnerable side, like be vulnerable. But people have already shown you that they are not a safe place for you to be vulnerable. You shouldn't be vulnerable with these people. So continue to keep your emotions in check. Have control over yourself. Your self-control is the ninth fruit of the spirit, actually. Self-control is one of the fruit of the spirit. So I just want you to understand that self-control is very important in this season where God is taking you. Self-control is going to allow you to be able to use your discernment, the tools and equipment that God has provided you with during these difficult seasons. The lessons that you've learned, you're going to be able to use the tools from those lessons that you've learned. These are tools that God has provided to you. Okay, you have discernment now, so you're able to test the spirit. You're able to see the fruit in other people. But when you're emotional, you can't really make a decision. When you're emotional, you can't think straight. You probably ain't gonna like remember what's being said because you're too in your head. You can't be emotional with the enemy. And that's basically what these people are. Like, they're sent from the enemy to be a distraction, to hold you back from what God truly has for you. You know, God has something big for you, for your life. But, you know, whether it's like a relationship, it could be a relationship, it could be friendship, it can be parents, it could be family members, it could be whatever. This is a distraction. Like, these people want to drain you dry and leave you empty. And when you explain yourself, you're giving them the ammo, to use against you. But I want you to know that not being in your emotions with these people is going to help you to be clear and level headed, and to be vigilant. Sober minded means to not be drunk in the spirit. Okay, when you're drunk in the spirit, you're emotional. But when you're sober minded, you're not emotional. You know how to contain your emotions. Okay, you know how to. I'm not saying like suppress your emotions and just like sweep stuff under the rug. No, I'm not saying that. You deal with your emotions how you need to deal with them, but know how to regulate your emotions. Know how to properly communicate without having to show the enemy your emotions. Do not give the enemy that vulnerable side of you, because you don't deserve that. If you want to be vulnerable, go be vulnerable with God. Go open up to God and cry out to God, in the closet, in the bathroom, in the shower. That's where I always do it. Or I might, close my door, lock my door, and sit in my room and worship and just cry out to God then. But or I'll come to my car. But do it in private with God. Handle your emotions, handle your vulnerable side in private. You don't give yourself that safe space. Don't rely on anybody else to be that safe space for you. Only rely on God to be that safe space for you, because eventually He's going to send the right people in your life that you can actually trust and be vulnerable with, without it being used against you. So, oh, that was so sweet. That was so sweet. Oh my goodness. So I was sitting here watching a bird. He was sitting there with some food in his mouth. It's some baby chicks over there. He was sitting there with some food in his mouth. I don't know if it's the mama or the daddy. But the other bird came from the nest, and they basically like tagged each other and they swapped places. So maybe it's the dad and the mama bird taking care of the babies. That is so sweet, because the one that was sitting here the first time had food in his mouth, and the other one came from over there, and they basically swapped places, and now the other one is sitting. It's so sweet. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. That is so cute. But yes, God is going to send people your way that are going to help you. Just like this bird thing right here. They're going to send genuine people that are going to help you on your journey, that you can be vulnerable with, that you can be open with, that you can, tell things to and share things with, iron sharpens iron, basically. But yeah, no. Treat them like customers. Put your emotions in the back seat somewhere when you're dealing with these type of people, because that's what they feed off of. They feed off of your emotions. They feed off of you going back and forth with them. They feed off of negativity. Like, that's their ammo. That's their power. You are their power source. So don't give them none. And as y'all know, the enemy only has the power that we give him. So he has no power. He is very powerless. And that's the same with his minions. They are powerless. And so they have to attack people, antagonize people, and press people's buttons to get power. Like, they can't generate their own energy and power and joy and excitement and happiness. They're not happy people. Okay? So, I don't know who this was for, but I just wanted to talk about that. I'll probably be making more narcissist content about toxic narcissistic people, because this is what I've dealt with all my life, and it's time to talk about it now. It's time to expose the enemy. Expose the enemy and his tricks, his traps, his schemes. So yeah, I love y'all.